Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Saturday morning practice. So happy to be here. We'll be spending the next hour and a half together practicing what I call the Qi therapy boot camp. So therapy is a word that we use to overcome a disorder, right? Qi, on the other hand, can have many different meanings. And in this case, I want you to think about the very traditional meaning of the word qi, which written in Chinese is no fire, which means opposite of inflammation. So let's get started. We're going to be doing some breathing exercise towards the end and some meditation along the way. And we're going to pair it with some joint exercise, starting with the wrist to the elbow, to the shoulder, to the neck, to the back, and then eventually down to the knee and the and the heel. So I want you to focus on the body first. Bring the body and the mind together. The true meaning of the word yoga, which is in North Indian, is yuja. I want you to focus on the very bottom of your spine. I want you to walk towards the top of the head along the spine. As you walk, I want you to focus on the joints along the way, one joint at a time. I want you to stretch towards the ceiling. Stretch the spine towards the ceiling as hard as you can. And then I want you to lean back the upper torso to where you think you're just about to fall off. And then I want you to relax. Then I want you to open the shoulder and then relax. Now we're going to start to do the joint exercise. I want you to focus on the center of your palm. I want you to bring your hands up with your mind, body together. Bring it all the way up to the shoulder level. And now I want you to focus on the wrist. We're going to start to do some joint exercise, rotating the wrist one turn at a time. But I want you to individualize the turns. Each turn is independent of the other. I want you to start with the beginning and then the end. The beginning and then the end. And never take your mind away from the wrist. I want you to focus on examining the change in your wrist. See if there's any heat, any sweat, any pain, any numbness. One turn at a time. And when you finish one turn, I want you to start on the next one as if it is the first one. Everyone, we start from zero, one at a time. We are, in fact, doing meditation here. It's just that typically meditation is sitting down, and now we're learning how to do meditation while we're moving, while we're exercising, which is about, besides when you sleep, it's about more than 80% of the time you're moving. So I want you to keep focusing on your body when you move. Anchor your mind on your body, anchor it on a particular spot. In this case, we're anchoring on the wrist. All right, slowly, I want you to turn the other way. Again, individualize the turns. Each turn has a beginning. I want you to start at the beginning. Which turn has the end. I want you to continue to focus on your wrist until you get to the end, one turn at a time. Now I want you to bring down your hands. And before you do that, I want you to focus on the center of your palm. Bring it down. Back to the spine. Stretch, lean back, relax, open the shoulder, and then relax. Now we're going to go from the wrist to the elbow. I want you to focus on the center of your palm again. I want you to bring it up slowly, all the way up. Now I want you to focus on the elbow. One turn at a time. While you're doing that, you notice that as I exercise, as I speak, I basically don't stop speaking, right? For an hour and a half at least. You notice that I keep swallowing my saliva. In fact, sometimes I have to stop because my mouth is full of saliva. I want you to think about why that is. I want you to think about why is it that everybody have to drink so much water? I don't know how many gallons of water we're supposed to drink a day. We call that hydration. Okay, now I want you to turn the other way. But with the saliva, you're doing self hydration. So why is it that we're so thirsty all the time? Because you're under stress all the time. The first thing that happens when you're under stress, you're in the sympathetic mode, what we normally call the fight or flight. The first thing it does is it turns off your saliva gland. One turn at a time, one turn at a time. Now bring your hands back down. Again, stretch your spine, open your shoulder, lean back, relax the entire body. So when you're in fight or flight, which in modern people is all the time, it turns off your saliva gland because when you fight flight, you're in danger and the body knows that. So it turns off your saliva gland because it doesn't need it. Saliva is for digestion and immunity. And when you're under stress, you don't need any of that. So that's why your mouth is always dry and you're always thirsty. But when you actually anchor your mind on your body when you move and you anchor your mind on your breath when you're stationary, you're in the other side. You're in the rest and digest. That's why you get saliva. It's a very important indication of your health. We're going to continue to do our joint exercise, going from the elbow to the from the wrist to the elbow to the shoulder. And now I want you to focus on the center of your palm again. I want you to bring up your hands, crossing your hand, bring it up, bring it forward, bring it all the way up. And then I want you to stretch towards the ceiling, not just the upper torso, but the elbow as well. I want you to focus on the center of your palm. As you bring down your hand, I want you to turn your palm. Let the center of your palm facing outside and open the shoulder and feel the change in your shoulder. And when you get back down here, I want you to be completely relaxed. Once again, each turn is individualized. So now you're starting from zero, moving up, following the center of your palm, in front of your face, on top of your head. Stretch. And then turn the hands so that the outside, the center of your palm is facing outside as if you're touching the walls. Come down, totally relax. Start from zero, move it up, stretch, open the shoulder, feel the pain on your shoulder, let go of the pain, come back to the center of your palm, anchor your mind on the center of your palm, move it up, stretch, open the shoulder, palm facing outside, completely relax, starting from zero again, bring it up, stretch, open the shoulder, feel the shoulder. One last time, bring it up, stretch, palms facing outside, open the shoulder, feel the pain on your shoulder. And now we're going to turn the other way. Open first, stretch, bring it back down, open first, stretch, bring it back down, open first, stretch, bring it back down. One last time. Follow the center of your palm. Always follow the center of your palm. Stretch, and then bring it back down. Now we're going to do front and forward. And we're going to experience some pain, which is a very good opportunity to actually learn to settle your mind and understand that pain and suffering are two different things. Once again, stretch your spine, lean back, relax, open the shoulder, relax. Lean back the forehead so the ears on top of your shoulder, tuck in your chin so top of the head is on top of the spine. Now focus on the center of your palm. Bring your hands up very slowly, very mindfully. Bring it in front of you. Continue. So the center of your palm is now on top of your head. Get ready. Stretch your spine. Open the shoulder. Feel the pain on your shoulder. Come back to the center of the palm. Let go of the pain. Let go of the pain. Bring it back up. All the way up. Bring it as far back as you can. Feel the pain. Let go of that pain. Come back to the center of your palm. Continue. Open the shoulder as far back as you can. Feel the pain. Accept that pain. Let go of the pain. Come back to the center of your palm. Bring it up. Feel it. Accept it. And then let it go. Continue. Open it. Feel it. Accept it. And then let it go. One last time. Feel it. Accept it. And then let it go. Sit up straight. Hands in the back. Continue. Stretch. Bring it back into the front. All the way back. Bring it up. Continue. Bring it down. All the way back. Bring it up. Stretch. Bring it back down. One last time. All the way back. Stretch. And then bring it back down. Now I want you to focus on your breathing. We continue to meditate, except that earlier when we're exercising, we meditate in motion, what I call mindfulness in motion. And now we're sitting still. And now we're continuing to be mindful of a breath. I want you to start with knowing. I know that I'm breathing in. I know that I'm breathing out. One breath at a time. Okay? So we're going to talk about breathing today. We're going to be exercising, doing all kinds of exercise related to breathing. And so, if you're interested, join a circle. The name of the circle is called Mindfulness Fellowship. And when you roll back a little bit, you will see a posting by Martha that is a copy and paste from another article written by a QiGong master on the importance of breathing. So we all understand the importance of breathing. The quality of the breath is very important to us, except that we tend to focus on breathing as an indicator of life and death, right? To the extent that we understand that breathing is important to health, we typically think about the external factors, the quality of the air. And we don't think about the quality of the breathing mechanism. Now, the word for breathing, the closest word for breathing in Hindu, in North Indian, in the yogi tradition, is pana. It's called anapana. But it's really not breathing as the way we understand it in the Western world. Typically, when we think about breathing in the Western world, we think about air going in and out of a nostril. But anapana, the Indian word for breathing, is really more about the stomach. Pana is when your stomach is collapsed. Ana is the opposite, when the stomach expands. So why the difference? It's the difference. It's as if you wanted to know the quality of the fire in the furnace by thinking that the fire starts with the chimney. The fire doesn't start with the chimney, just like breathing doesn't start with the nostril. The nostril is like the chimney, right? And so the North Indians, they think about breathing in the stomach because they understand that breathing is not done by the nostril, it's done by the diaphragm. And so they're more interested in sucking in the stomach, lifting up the diaphragm, cleaning the lung out of all the stale air. That's the most important part. And then the consequence is that as you release the stomach, that's when the diaphragm goes back down and you increase the capacity of your lung. So in their case, breathing is all about the quality of the mechanism as opposed to the quality of the air. Now, it turns out that diaphragm is just one part of our entire connected tissue. Now, in the Western world, we taught to think about connected tissue, and we call it fascia. But the fascia, the word fascia, comes from the Greek word myofascia. So, to the extent that fascia is connected tissue, we're only focusing on the connected tissue on the muscle. Whereas the Indian and the Chinese tradition, they understand that it goes much deeper than that. When that knowledge came to China, they start to call it qi as the energy that travel in this connected tissue, which is something totally outside of the Western understanding of our human body. And so we're going to continue to focus on qi, but a particular aspect of qi, which is breathing and understanding the diaphragm, and then not just the diaphragm, but how it goes into a muscle, into our joints. All right. So we're going to continue. We're going to do three more exercises, and then we're going to meditate. We're going to have 2 sessions of meditation. First one, and then the next one, the last one at the end of the class. And while we're doing the joint exercise, it's also a good way to learn to practice of your mind, how your mind deals with pain and suffering, not just the bodily pain, the pain of the mind. All right. So let's continue. Stretch, lean back, open the shoulder, relax the shoulder. We're going to do this exercise called the double blade. Left hand is one blade, right hand is the second. We're going to separate the left from the right, separate the left brain from the right brain. This is important when it comes to meditation. I'll explain in a minute. We're going to focus on the center of the right palm. We're going to take that hand, make a nice gentle circle, keep following the center of your palm, and then we're going to open the shoulder as far back as you can. We're going to feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Come back, anchor your mind on the left hand, and then move the left hand, making a nice big circle. Let's turn as far back as you can. Feel the pain, accept that pain, let go of the pain, sit up straight. Right hand, left hand stationary. Feel the pain, accept that pain, let go of the pain. Sit up straight, right hand stationary, left hand. Feel the pain, accept that pain, let go of the pain. Sit up straight, right hand. Feel the pain, accept the pain, let go of the pain. Left hand, feel the pain, accept that pain, let go of the pain. 2 more times. Sit up straight, right hand, feel the pain, let go of the pain, accept that pain. One last time. Slowly feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Back to the stationary, back to focusing on your breath, starting with knowing, I know that I'm breathing in. I know that I'm breathing out. I know that I'm breathing in. I know that I'm breathing out. One breath at a time. Okay? So, the importance of dealing with pain and not let it metastasize into suffering, we're just using the body as an introduction. It's a gateway to understanding of how our mind works, right? So, we are bombarded with anxiety, fear, and everything else. And the only way you can deal with it is not to follow it. But not to follow it doesn't mean to ignore it. You cannot ignore it. It's real. So you just have to be disciplined about it. You feel it, you accept it, and then you let it go. Now, what's interesting is that in the practice of meditation as a spiritual practice, it comes into these steps. So mindfulness is one, I call it anchoring, right? Being mindful just means anchoring. Anchor your mind somewhere. Anchor your mind on your body when you're moving. Anchor your mind on your breath when you're stationary. That's it. It's as simple as that. There are some steps you have to take through, and then at the very end, called samadhi. Samadhi is sometimes called one mindedness, where you're completely focused. It's very hard to explain that. It's something you have to experience. It's like I keep pointing the window and tell you how beautiful it is outside. You just have to actually open the window and see it for yourself. So it's very hard to explain samadhi. You just have to experience it. All I can do is explain to you how we go from here to there, starting with mindfulness or anchor. Now, it turns out that the next step, and that's all I'm going to explain today, has another word called samatha. It's actually called mindfulness. In Pali, is sati. Then it's called samatha. Then it's called vipassana. And then it's called samadhi. Right? At least 4 steps. And we're just going to explain what samatha means. Samatha is different from samadhi. Samatha, in this case, when it comes to China, it basically means stop. Stop everything. So it turned out to be very difficult to understand. Stop everything, like what? What do I stop? So a very famous monk came along in around the 16th century, and he reinterpreted samatha. He used a Chinese word that is in 2 parts. One of that is canine, is the dog, is the one that guards the door. And so he basically says that it's like you're guarding the temple. Your body is the temple, and the body has these doors. The temple has these doors: the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body, and your mind. The mind, in this case, is just a big brain. It's biological, right? When you die, it goes away. So he says these are what we call the sense door, and you're just guarding them. And the way you guard them is like the very, very trustful canine, the dog that guards the door. And someone comes to the door, you greet them. You say, like this, right? And then if they go away, don't follow them. Just don't let them get into your mind. Don't let them get into your temple. And that's what it means. That's what it means. When someone is causing you anxiety, it's like the guy just comes to your door, and your responsibility is to guard your temple. He says, I see you. I recognize you. I greet you. Right? I can actually feel you, but I accept you. And then I'm letting you go. I'm not going to follow you. All right? So that's the practice. Just remember those 3 words: feel it, accept it, and then let it go. And what we do here is we use the body to train the mind into this habit, into these 3 steps: feel it, accept it, and let it go. So think about these 3 things as if you're putting that inside a glass box, and when you're under a lot of stress, you hit it with a hammer, it opens, and then he says, feel it, accept it, and then let it go. Okay? All right. All right. So now we're going to get ready for meditation and doing what's called pranayama. Pana is the movement of the stomach. Pana is actually in anapana. 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 And in this case, yama is the practice of breathing. All right. So we're going to do that sitting down, and we're going to do that standing up. And before we do that, we can just sort of loosen up the body a little bit. All right. Loosen it up. And not just loosen up, but actually restore the elasticity between the fight or flight and the resonant digest. All right. Put you back into this harmonious state. All right. So stretch, lean back, open the shoulder, and then relax. We're going to do a little bit of energetic exercise, very simple. You can raise the right arm, focus on the center of your palm, make a nice soft fist. Going to aim at the left upper corner. Get ready. Up. Open those fingers. Feel the vibration coming back to the shoulder. Up. Come back, focus on the center of your palm, down, get ready, down, up, up, down, down. One last time, up, up, down, down. Open the shoulder, focus on both hands, get ready. One, open those fingers, feel the vibration coming back to your shoulder. Two, three, four, and five. Okay. All right. So we have one more exercise, and this is going to be much more restorative. In fact, this is all about energizing the vagus nerve, putting your body into rest and digest. We do that by, once again, back to our friend stretch, lean back, relax, open that shoulder and relax. When you open the shoulder, there's two energy point here called the gate to the cloud. We're going to take a thumb, put that on the gate of the cloud, roll up the four fingers. This exercise comes into four part. It requires your complete concentration. I want you to focus on the elbow. I want you to lift up the elbow. I want you to let the rest of your body follow the shoulders up and the spine is towards the ceiling as if you're lifting your shoulder to your ears. Second one is when you point the elbow back, you open the shoulder, you open as far as you can as if you're squeezing a tennis ball in the back. Third is when you lower the elbow, you're completely relaxed. The last one, the fourth one, is when you point the elbow forward, you're now hunching your shoulder, you're bending your neck, and you're bending your back, and you're looking straight down. From here, we're going to lift up the elbow, shoulder up. We're going to look at the camera, and then we're going to point the elbow back. We're going to open the shoulder as far as we can. We're going to be looking at the ceiling about 45 degrees. And then we're going to lower the elbow. Now we're looking straight ahead again, and then continue so that we're pointing the elbow down, looking at the floor. Okay. Now you notice that we're moving the neck, the back, the shoulder, everything, right? Now we need to learn how to move even the diaphragm. Remember we talked about the diaphragm just being a very important part of the connective tissue? We're going to do that by coordinating our body movement with the breathing. As you move up, I want you to close your mouth and then breathe in with your nostril. Continue, open. And then as you come down, I want you to breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. You're not sucking air, you're just feeling the air that comes through your nostril because the movement is actually what does the breathing. Breathe in, all the way in, all the way out, and then breathe out. All the way out until you completely um, squeeze the air out. Breathe in, and then breathe out. Breathe in, open, breathe out. Breathe in, and then breathe out. Continue. Breathe in one last time. And then breathe out. Now feel the inside your mouth. See if inside mouth is nice and wet. Okay. Now we're going to start to meditate. We're using a very special technique, 1,000-year-old Chinese technique for longevity called the microcosmic orbit. This is the term that's invented by the Chinese astronomer or astrologers, and it represents how the moon circles around the Earth. The macrocosmic orbit is when the Earth circles around the Sun, both of which are Qigong technique. I only know of the micro one. I don't know the macro one. Okay, so I can only teach you what I know. Sometimes I even teach you things that I don't know, but I try not to do that so much. Now, in order to do that properly, you need to sit properly because turns out the technique is to create magnetic resonance between your body, the magnetic field of your body, and the magnetic field of the universe. So the sitting posture is divided into seven parts. First one are your legs. I want you to completely relax your legs. If you sit on the chair, which I encourage you to do, if you don't, you can't sit like I do, then you just want to make sure that the bottom of your feet are just touching the floor. You're not um, hanging your feet, dangling your feet. Okay. And if you're sitting like I do, you make sure you put some blankets and pillows around your knee and your thigh so that you're not using any muscle. Then I want you to relax your arm. I don't want you to lift it up. And if you must do some hand gesture, do it, but have it your hand rest on top of your knee. Not don't bring it up like this. Don't use muscle. The most important is your spine. You need to form this what we call the pillar supporting the sky. The spine is what conducts between the earth and heaven. I want you to start at the very bottom part of your spine. I want you to walk up the spine as if a dragon is walking on it, one joint at a time. As you walk, I want you to stretch your spine as if you're hanging your spine on the ceiling. Stretch it as hard as you can. Then I want you to lean back and relax. And if you're mindful of your body, you actually feel a burst of energy when you do that because you're relieving all your stress from your muscle and you're relying on your spine to support the weight of your upper torso. Then I want you to focus on your shoulder. I want you to open that shoulder and I want you to relax that shoulder. Now I want you to focus on your forehead. I want you to lean back the forehead so that the ears on top of your shoulder, the weight of the head is now on top of your spine as if you're balancing a bowling ball on a bamboo stick. Now I want you to focus on your chin. I want you to just tuck in your chin slightly so you're looking at the floor. The top of the head is on top of the spine. This is what we call the one pillar supporting the sky. You're now the center of the universe because the universe is unbound. We can all be the center of a universe. I want you to focus on eyelid. Think about your eyelid as the window shade and just let the window shade come down. Close your eye, but relax. Relax so that you can actually see some light through your eyelashes. You can kind of see the floor and the knee and maybe even the hand. Finally, very important is that I want you to take the tip of the tongue and put it behind the teeth. Rest it where the teeth meets the roof of your mouth. Close your mouth. I want you to feel the wetness inside your mouth. This one last thing is very important because it reactivates your saliva gland, puts your body into rest and digest. It also channel all your salivas into your stomach, not in your lung. And finally, it's part of the electrical. It completes the electrical circuit. This exercise, this longevity breathing exercise, actually comes in three parts. The first part is when we focus on the stomach. Before we do that, I want you to go back to knowing. We do knowing, then we do anchor. I know that I'm breathing in. I know that I'm breathing out. One breath at a time. Now I want you to focus on the belly button. Anchor your mind on the belly button. When you know that you're breathing in, I want you to move that belly button forward as if you're taking the belly button across the room. just your mind. Your body will follow, trust me. As you feel that you're breathing out, I want you to take the belly button back as if you're taking all the way to the back. You notice that when you move the belly button forward, the stomach opens because the diaphragm is being pushed down, increasing the lung capacity, improving the mechanism of breathing. And when you breathe out, you're collapsing the stomach as you move the belly button back, lifting up the diaphragm, removing all remaining of the stale air from the bottom of your lung. That's why breathing using the stomach is so important for your health. Breathing in, move forward. Breathing out, move backward. Again, I want you to focus on the belly button, understanding that the belly button, the belly or the abdomen, is like the bellow. You know how the blacksmith moves the bellow in and out? The nostril is just a chimney. So don't suck air through your chimney, but instead, as soon as you know that you're breathing in, just open the stomach. Move the belly button forward. As soon as you know that you're breathing out, move the belly button back. Okay, practice on that. Now we're going to do more practice later on, but for now, let's just sit for 3 minutes. That's the first part. Breathe in, forward, breathe out, backward. One breath at a time. Completely anchor your mind on your belly button, anchor your mind on your breath. Mindfulness when you're stationary, whether you're sitting, lying down, or standing, is always about the breath. Mindfulness when you're walking, like you shopping in Costco, that's when you focus on the bottom of your feet. Or when you're washing dishes, that's when you focus on the center of your palm. One breath at a time. Okay, so that's the simplest exercise. This is the first step in the pranayama practice. But it already has a lot of benefit. It increases your lung capacity when you breathe in. It helps you to remove all the stale air in your lung when you breathe out. But it's just the first step. Now we're going to move on to the second step. Second step says that you let go of your belly button. You just go back to feeling your breathing. As you breathe in, you actually sense that the stomach opens on its own. As you breathe out, you sense that your stomach actually collapses on its own. That movement of the diaphragm actually generates some static electricity in your small intestines. Small intestines is piezoelectric, so any movement will generate electricity. The next step, we learn to cycle that electricity through our spine and then return. So all you need to do is to provide the electrical potential and the electrons will move. You can do that without even knowing it because there's a chamber between the left brain and the right brain. That's why you need to separate the left brain from the right brain. And now all you have to do is to continue to be focused on your breathing, continue to be mindful of your breath. And you focus on the bottom of your spine. As you feel that you're breathing in, I want you to move from the bottom of the spine along the spine towards the top of your head. But it's very important that as you do that, you stretch your spine towards the ceiling. And then as you breathe out, I want you to start at the top of your head, come down through the forehead, come down through the bridge of your nose, come down through the tongue, which is why you need to put the tip of the tongue behind the teeth to conduct electricity. And you continue towards the belly button. But as you do that, you lean back your upper torso and you relax. When you breathe in, start at the bottom of your spine, stretch towards the ceiling. When you get to the top of the head, you wait until you breathe out and you come back down to the belly button and you lean back and relax. Breathe in, stretch upward. Breathe out, lean back and relax. We're going to sit for 3 minutes. It's very important that you stretch your spine. I'll explain why in a minute. Stretch your spine towards the ceiling, lean back and relax. Okay. Now, everything in your body is conductive, whether it's the blood flow or the signal that you send through the muscle or the nerve, and everything is conductive. So that's electricity travels through your body, especially the electricity that is traveled through the membrane, right? So this is something we'll call chi. Now, electricity eventually can generate magnetism, but it requires electricity to be coherent. Okay. So when you meditate, you actually are creating a magnetic field because the very benefit of meditation is you're calming down. Everything is this coherent state. And when you sit like this, at first it's like pretending. You pretend that you're rising to the top of the head and you're pretending that you're returning to the stomach. But the important thing is that you stretch your spine when you go up and you lean back and relax when you come down. Now, I don't know, it's going to take 1 day, 2 day, 10 years. I don't know. It's up to you. It depends on you. But in my case, after a while, I actually feel some energy rising along my spine and I'm just following it. And that's what we call the dragon chasing the pearl. The pearl is the energy, it's the chi that rises on your spine, and you're just following it, the dragon chasing the pearl. That's when you have created the magnetic resonance between your body, your magnetic field, and the magnetic field of the universe. The magnetic field of the universe comes into yin and yang. Yang is the influence of the sun. Yin is the influence of the absence of the sun. So when the sun goes down, we're influenced by Jupiter, the Mars, the Venus, and then the other five, all five. And the Chinese represent those five in the five elements: the water, the vegetation, the fire, the the um, the earth, and then finally the mineral. Okay, and you might ask, so where's the moon? Absence of the sun is the moon. The moon has no magnetic field. The moon has no molten core. It's solid. So even though it rotates around us, it disturbs our gravitational field, but it doesn't disturb our magnetic field. Okay, and this is a longevity exercise because it basically cycles your body from the yin and the yang. The yang, the energetic part is when you move up, you breathe in, and your body is actually in fight or flight, putting out all the stress hormone, reducing inflammation in your body. And when you're in, you come back, you're restorative, you're restoring the sensitivity to the stress hormone. The reason why our body inflames is not because we don't have enough natural steroid in the body. We have too much. When we have too much, we have what is called cortisol resistance. Our body inflamed in spite of it. We have to actually inject steroid. So the fact that we're inflamed is because we lost sense of how our body has evolved for the last couple million years. In the last couple of million years, we live in the yin and the yang. When we're outside the cave, we're under stress. The body puts out stress hormone, reduce inflammation. But we need to come back to the cave and let the body restore itself. The reason why we're inflamed, the reason why we have so many diseases these days is we don't know how to go back to the resonance. Yes, we lost the art. So this practice has many things. This is one of it. We're going to continue. All right, we're going to continue. This is a very important practice. Go back to this article that Martha had posted on our circle about the importance of breathing. The importance of breathing is just not life and death. It's actually the quality of life and death. Okay. All right. So we're going to continue. Before we do that, we're going to do some stretching again. Again, it's about stretching the diaphragm. So we're going to start with 3 deep breaths. I'm going to stretch mainly the connective tissue in the back. Okay. All right. So I want you to come back, stretch the spine, open the shoulder, lean back, relax. We're going to do 3 deep breaths, really using the diaphragm this time. And so we're going to take your hands, lock it together, put that under the belly button. There's an energy point here called the Sea of Qi. So when we're inside the mother's womb, the belly button is where we connect to her physically. The Sea of Qi is where we're connected to her spiritually as well as energetically. This is when we receive the nutrient, not just the physical nutrient, but the spiritual and the energy nutrient. So stretch, lean back, open, relax, hands together, put that on the Sea of Qi. We're going to go from here to here. This is an important energy point. This is where the tip of the tongue touches. This is the connection between the yang and the yin. Okay? Now, as we breathe, I want you to lift up your hand, follow the center of your palm, raise your upper torso. Get ready? Breathe in slowly. Turn your palm, follow the center of your palm, breathe out. Stretch your upper arm. Looking straight ahead again, open those fingers. Stretch your upper part of your arm. Open the shoulder as if you're climbing the mountain. And then you completely relax back to the hands locking. Breathe in very slowly, very gently. Breathe out. Stretch the elbows, looking straight ahead. Open the shoulder, climb the mountain. And then come back, relax. One last time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Looking straight ahead. Climb the mountain. And then back, locking the fingers, palm facing up, palm facing down. Stretch, lock the elbow, eyes looking forward, follow the palm in front of your eye, in front of you, on top of you. Lock the elbow, lean back slightly, form a straight line between your spine, the top of your head, and the center of your palm, and you push towards the ceiling as hard as you can. Then you lean back, come back to the middle, and you stretch. Then you lean to the left, come back to the middle, and you stretch. You lean to the right, you come back to the middle, and you stretch. You lean to the left, you come back to the middle. One last time, stretch, and then you lean to the right. You come back, you focus on the center of your palm, you follow your hand, you come back, you completely relax. Once again, open the shoulder, lean back, and then relax. Right hand on the left shoulder, lean back your forehead so you put in some pressure on your right shoulder. You take your left hand, you grab your right elbow, you straighten up your spine, and you stretch to the left. And you come back, you sit up straight, you do the other way, you lean back your forehead, you stretch to the right. You come back, you focus on your breathing. You examine your breathing, see if you're huffing and puffing. Huffing and puffing is when you put out stress hormone. You need it when you need it. When you don't need it, you let it go. Restore the sensitivity. You focus on your breathing. Put yourself back into the rest and digest. One breath at a time. We continue. We open the shoulder and we relax. And now we're going to stretch the arm, both the inside and outside. Again, this is more about the connected tissue, not about the tendon. All right. So open the shoulder, sit back, relax, palm facing up. Right hand, put that between the fingers and the palm, sit up straight, bring the hands down, focus on the elbow, stretch the elbow, push the elbow out, eyes forward, using your elbow to bring up your hand. Feel the stress on your wrist, palm facing forward, sit up straight, don't turn your body is not turning. And then you take your left hand, you bring it all the way to the right, make sure you lock your elbow all the way to the right, and then you come back. And then you relax. This stretches all the meridians inside. Open the shoulder again, relax. Right hand, left hand, bring it down. Right elbow, eyes forward, elbow up. Feel the stress on your wrist, palm facing forward without turning your body. Right arm to the left, lock your elbow back, and then relax. Focusing on your breathing, back to the restorative, back to the rest and the digest, one breath at a time. Now we're going to do the back side of the arm. Open the shoulder, relax. Right arm, palm facing up. Left arm, palm facing down. Open the shoulder. Okay, wrist at 90 degree. Focus on the right arm, right, the center of your right palm. Slowly go up as if you're pushing the sky up, all the way up. Lock your elbow. Now focus on the left palm. Push it down as if you're pushing the earth. Lock your elbow. Now I want you to bring your right arm back. Then I want you to turn your head to the left, to the shoulder. But I want you to keep turning the eye as if you're looking your back. Okay, those connective tissue goes to your eye as well. Then I want you to bring your eyeballs back and then bring your head back. And then I want you to relax. Now do the other side. Wrist at 90 degree, open the shoulder, left arm up, lock the elbow, right arm down, lock the elbow, lean back the left arm, turn the head to the right, stop at the shoulder, turn your eyeballs as if you're looking at your back, bring back your eyeballs, bring back your head, and then relax. Back to the breathing. Very important to focus on your breath. Very important to keep equal time to the um, rest and digest. Okay. Now, it's very important to remind yourself that exercise is very good for you, but there's such thing as too much of a good thing. All right. So energetic exercise is good for you, even if you want to run or weight lift, but make sure that you let your body restore itself. Now we're going to stretch the back. And so this requires that we stretch our spine again, open the shoulder, relax, put the hands together, fingers blocking, palm of the hand facing up, palm of the hand facing down. Stretch until you lock your elbow. I want you to focus simultaneously on the center of your palm and the top of your head. I want you to push down your hand and stretch the top of the head towards the ceiling, one up, one down. Stretch the spine as hard as you can and then relax. I want you to lean back the forehead so you're looking at the ceiling 45 degree. But now I want you to focus on the center of your palm and bring that arm up as hard as you can. And then relax back to the breathing. One breath at a time. Completely relax. Examine your breathing. If you're huffing and puffing, then just focus on the breath. Follow the breath, one breath at a time. Sit up straight, open the shoulder, lean back, relax. Left arm touching the back. And make sure you make sure you're looking straight ahead, okay? Now I want you to take the right shoulder and lift it up as hard as you can. And then relax. Do the same thing on the other side. Make sure you're looking straight ahead. And I want you to lift up the left shoulder as hard as you can. And then relax. Back to the breathing. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Now open the shoulder. Relax. Right arm, the back of the hand touching the lower part of your back. Two fingers pointing to the left shoulder. I want you to bring the right shoulder down, fingers up as hard as you can. And then relax. The other hand, bring the left shoulder down. And then now I want you to do the best you can. Touch the fingers, sitting up straight, looking straight ahead. Two shoulders, right shoulder up, left shoulder down. And then relax. The opposite. Again, sitting straight ahead, looking straight ahead. Left shoulder up, right shoulder down. And then relax. Back to the restorative, back to the breathing. One breath at a time. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. One last exercise called the reverse Buddha. Open the shoulder, relax, palms touching, fingers pointing down, put that in the lower back. Sit up straight, fingers pointing up, bring it up. Try to keep the palms together, sit up straight, push the palm forward, open the shoulder, one forward, one back. Maintain the pressure, focus on your breath, one breath at a time. Open the shoulder, maintain the pressure, palm forward, shoulder back, and then relax, one breath at a time. Okay? All right, so now we move to the floor. We're going to continue with some joint exercise. This time we go to the knee. The knee is like the elbow. Okay? One, two, three, four, and five. The other way. One, two, three, four, and five. Now to the heel. The heel is like the wrist. One, two, three, four, and five. The other way. One, two, three, four, and five. Now to the left. One, two, three, four, and five. The other way. One, two, three, four, and five. Now to the toes. The toes like the fingers. But this exercise is actually very important, especially if you have a lower back problem. The lower back is lower back problem is what we call the kidney deficiency. Okay, and this one actually activates the kidney meridian. And so you focus on the top of your head. You're looking straight ahead, and then you slowly just stand on your toes without losing focus. Okay, if you look down, you're gonna fall. Now you come down, you impact the heel. The heel is the meridian that we name after the bladder, which is the yang side of the kidney. All right, so now stand on your toes, focus on the top of your head, come down, impact the heel. One last time. Okay, and now we're gonna turn to stand on one foot, stand on the left, lift up the right, focus on top of the head, and go one. Come back to the top of the head, otherwise you fall. Like I'm doing now. Okay, back. Second time, third time, and then the other way. Stand on your right. One, two, and three. One last joint, which is the hip, very important. You got to learn to loosen your hip. And living in the Western world, we don't do too much of that because we don't squat down, right? We sit on the toilet, and so our hips get stiff. And as we get old, it's very easy to fall because we don't know how to restore ourselves. The hip is too tight. So this is actually a very important exercise. The hip is the shoulder. Okay, now we stand on our right foot. We lean back to the left. We form a straight line between the heel, the knee, the hip, and the shoulder, and we turn around along the straight axis, all the way up, all the way. And then we move forward, we relax. Second time, turn forward, and then relax. Third time, and then relax. We're going to do the other way. Bring back to the right foot, form a straight line between the heel, the knee, the hip, and the shoulder, and we turn forward, relax. Second time, forward, relax. Third time, forward, and then relax. All right? All right, so now we're ready to do some really heavy duty pranayama. And heavy duty, but at the same time very easy. You don't even have to think about it. The practice is designed so you don't have to think about it. All you have to think about is focus on the center of your palm. Bring it up, bring it towards yourself, lower your hand, as well as your knee, and then stand back up. One, two, three, and four. That's it. All right. Breathe in, all the way in. Breathe out, using your nostril. Relax. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. Follow your hand. Breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Changing form. Breathe in, crossing your hand. Follow your hand. Breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. One last time. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Stand up straight. Focus on the center of your bottom of your feet. Make sure it's nicely firm, nicely firmly plant on the floor. Okay, we sit like the bell, we stand like the pine tree. So this is like the root of the tree. The rest of the tree has to be flexible. We kind of we don't lock a knee if you can. If you cannot, it's okay. Sometimes your knee hurts too much. But if you can, you loosen up your knee. But you don't have to do like this. You just kind of loosen up your knee, let the calf takes over. The calf is your second heart. Calf is very important. And then you open your shoulder, you relax, you lean back your forehead, tuck in the chin, you relax your forehead, you relax your eyelid, and you focus on your breath for 1 minute. Just know that you're breathing. I know I'm breathing in, one breath at a time. Okay, open your eyes. Now the second form is called balloon breathing. Right foot forward, lean back. So you're looking at the ceiling, 45-degree. Toes are up. You bring your hands up. You follow the center of your palm. You roll forward. So now you're looking at the floor. The heel on the left foot is up. You open again, looking up the ceiling. As you go forward, you breathe in. As you go back, you breathe out. You focus on the center of your palm and nowhere else. Breathe in, breathe out. 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 One last time. Breathe in, breathe out. Focus on the center of your palm. Bring your hands down. Now go from the center of your palm to the center of the bottom of your feet. Move your legs. Stand properly. 1 minute. Focus entirely on your breath, on your breathing. One breath at a time. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Open your eyes and you continue the left. Get ready. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One breath at a time. Breathe in. Completely focus on the center of your palm. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One last time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lower your hand. Back to the standing position. Relax where you're supposed to relax. Focus on your breathing for 1 more minute. Meditating on your breath. Loosening up your knee if you can. Completely focus on your breathing. Keep checking your mind. Your mind likes to be somewhere else. I understand that. Invite your mind to be part of your breathing. One breath at a time. Okay, the next one is called butterfly. It's actually a very, very effective exercise. You actually breathe in when you squeeze your lung, pushing down the diaphragm. And you breathe out when you expand your lung, lifting up your diaphragm. Also needs to stand on your toes. Good for improving the what we call the kidney deficiency. Okay, get ready. Lift up your arm, follow the center of your palm. Bring it down, lower your knees, straight down, okay? Bring it back up, raise your knee, raise your heel, stand on your toes, focus on the center of your palm, back of the hand touching. As you come down, breathe in. As you go up, breathe out like the butterfly. Breathe in. Breathe out. 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 One more time. Focus on the center of your palm, back of the hand touching. As you come down, breathe in. As you go up, breathe out. All the way out. Now follow the center of your palm. Bring your hands down. And 1 minute of standing meditation. For those of you who practice martial art, there's a word called Zhang. This is the standing meditation. And when you do that, you have to loosen up your knee. You let the fire element rises within you. So when we sit, it's called the earth element. We don't use our muscle. And when we stand, it's called the fire element. That's when we use our muscle. Okay. So just the standing is a longevity exercise. You're activating the calf and also settle the mind, anchor the mind. All right. So the calf is called the second heart. That's the Western way of describing it too. And so it basically circulates your chi into your body, especially the top of your head. So there's a study I talk about this many times that people who suffer from dementia, like my father did, the calf is completely deteriorated. Okay, so the calf is a very important part. Now the next one is called pushing hands. Similarly, right foot forward, but you don't lean back this time. You just stand properly. And instead of a balloon, you think about a water wheel. So you bring your hands up along the water wheel, all the way up to the top, and you bring it all the way down, and you lower your body, looking straight ahead, and you push. All right? As you bring your hands, you breathe in, you breathe all the way in, down to here, and then you breathe out, push. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, it's very important that you learn not to think. Thinking requires the brain, feeling requires the spine. Okay? All nerve ending ends at the spine before it's delivered to the brain. So, rest your brain, focus on your palm, focus on the feeling of your body, feel the air flowing through your fingers as you cut through them. Feel the air that you breathe in all the way to your stomach. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. This thing called the resting of the brain is actually in our popular culture. So when a guy shoots the basket, we call that in the zone. Similarly, when you hit a tiny ball across the field into a hole, it's the same way. We feel it. We don't think it. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Similarly with the samurai, right? It's all about feeling it. Breathe out. One last time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay. Back. 1 minute. Standing meditation. Okay. So it's very important to understand that the brain is just the intellect. It's not the entirety of your intelligence system. The entirety of your intelligence system starts with the spine. So it's all about feeling without thinking. Feel it, breathe out. As Mr. Miyaki says, wax on, wax off. Just feel it. in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. One more time. Follow the center of your palm, breathe in, feel it, and then breathe out. Come back. This is the last 1 minute standing meditation. I want you to make a commitment, but not to make the commitment at the beginning of the 1 minute, but the beginning of every breath. Every breath, I want you to commit to that breath. Focus on your breath, one breath at a time. When you finish one breath, I want you to recommit to another one. Okay? Now we're going to do the last one, go up and down. This one actually is very demanding, and it requires a very healthy body and a very healthy mind. It's also a very good way to maintain a healthy body and healthy mind. We're only going to do this 3 times. First, we breathe in, and we breathe out. Bend your body, and then we breathe in again. Bend your body, and then relax. 2 more. Breathe out. Breathe in. And then relax. One last time. Breathe out. Breathe in. And then relax. We've got 5 more minutes. We're going to continue with meditation. And this time, I'm going to complete the exercise by referring it to not just the dragon chasing the pearl, but the wandering dragon chasing the pearl, which means that we sit. Now, after this exercise, the breathing becomes very pronounced, okay? So we're just going to follow it. Follow the breathing. When I breathe in, I start at the bottom of the spine. I move towards the ceiling. I stretch the spine. When I breathe out, I lean back. I come back to the belly button. As you do this, you experience the pearl, the energy rising on its own. You're just following it like the dragon follows the pearl. The dragon is your mind. It's very important to understand that this is the wandering dragon. Wandering in this case means free. I want you to feel very free. I don't want you to constrain your mind in any way. Just follow. I like the dragons climbing up your spine. But let go of the dragon. Don't stop at the top of your head. Imagine there's a cloud on top of the head, on top of your head, the ancestral home of the dragon. Let the dragons return into the cloud. And when when the dragon returns to the cloud, it looks back at yourself. So you need to kind of look back at yourself and say, "Ooh, what is this? This is just a body, huh? Oh, okay. All right." So when you breathe out, you come back towards the belly button and you imagine that there's a cave inside your belly button and you let your dragon rest in the cave. Don't rush it. Let the dragon rest as long as it wants. And when you breathe in again, you stretch, enter into the cloud, look back at your body. And when you breathe out, you come back into the belly button and you rest in your belly button, rest inside your stomach. And when you do this, you feel a sense of coolness in your head. Very cool, very light, very pleasant, almost a state of bliss. And then when you come back to your belly button, you feel really warm. like the way a dragon's cave is supposed to be, I suppose. Yeah. Okay. So 5 minutes. Okay. This completes our practice. Okay, open your eyes. Thank you, Mother. Mother mentioned where we can find that article on breathing in our mindfulness fellowship circle. Martha, can you write out the name of the Qigong master, and I'll let people know so they can search him. He's a real gift. All right. So I'm 68. I've been in this country since I was 15. I experienced different ways that we improve our democracy by addressing discrimination, discrimination against different sex, discriminations against different color of the skin, discriminations against people with handicap, discriminations against people with different preferences, sexual or otherwise. I think I start to experience really uh, discrimination against aging. And you can see that in a presidential election right now. And I think we'll get over that, continually improve our democracy. But aging is not the same as dying. Aging is not the same as dying. Most people in America die from disease, they don't die from aging. Very few people die from aging. So when you have time, look up the book or the article or the video. I think it's available on Netflix. It's something called Blue Zones. Blue Zones. So, author, very, very good person. Spent 20 years examining 5 different blue zones. I've been to all three out of the 5. I've been to Okinawa, I've been to Costa Rica, and then also there's another place in California which I passed by. I did go inside. And then there's 2 more. I believe one is in Italy, one is in Greece, where people actually, on average, live to the 100 and they die of old age, not with disease. The difference is that their lifestyle, how they eat, what they eat, how they drink, what they drink, how they work, how they rest, how they exercise or not exercise, and how they live among themselves spiritually and so forth. The end result is that they have very little inflammation in the body and they die from aging, not from disease. That's a good thing. All right. Before we finish, as customary, we do a serenity prayer. Start with gratitude. All practice starts with gratitude. Be grateful with a body. Be grateful with a health. Be grateful with a family, a parents, a sibling, a spouse, our children, our extended family, our neighbors, people who protect us, whether they are first line responders, whether they are soldiers who give it all, the doctors, the people who work at grocery, everyone, be very grateful. Be very grateful that there is positive energy in the world. Let's just focus on an eyelid, see the light in front of us, identify that light with source of all positive energy. I name her my creator, God as I know her. I'm very grateful for her grace. I ask that I have the courage to continue to live up to her expectation, to do my very best to make this a better world. To bring out the loving kindness, the compassion, the empathy, and the equanimity. To share what I have. I ask that I continue to have the serenity to accept the world as it is, that it's impossible to change everyone, that I can only change myself. I ask that I continue to see the light, continue to see the wisdom, especially the wisdom within me, to know the difference. Namaste. See you all next week. Thank you, Mata. It's Master Chung Yi, Chunyi, Master Lin, Lin, and his practice group is called the Spring Forest Qigong Practice. Okay. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, Reka. Thank you, Oma. Okay. All right. I'll see you all next week. Okay. Sing it again. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye. Okay. And thank you for all the donations. It's the beginning of July. I should be getting my I should be getting my June payment soon. And then I'll do a mid-year financial report. We have some money. So we'll, together with Insight Timer and with the Patreon, we have some donations that I have collected. So I think we're gonna send all that to Master Hong, let him continue with his work at the prison, bringing loving kindness and compassion to those who are incarcerated. We're not trying to judge. We're not trying to say that they deserve to be locked up or not. Okay, all we're trying to do is bring some peace to them. Okay, bring some freedom, what I call freedom of the mind. Right, we're not trying to say that they deserve there or not deserve there, whether the punishment is just or not. That's not the point. The point is that they are human beings. They are beings. They deserve peace in their heart, just like we do. Okay? All right. Thank you, everyone.